Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. I actually had to go make some dinner. I had this paused, but it stopped on me, so now there's going to be part one and part two of this video. So all we really have left to do is put some ribbon on. So there really isn't much more to do. You can see what I did so far before I had to go and make dinner. Like I said, if you want to put his head down a little bit closer to the sign, if you have the elf, you can certainly do that, but I kind of like the way it looks up there, like he's kind of peeking his head out of the mesh, so I'm going to leave it. Okay, so if you got the kit, these are the ribbons that you would have gotten. There's a 2.5 inch cute little elf ribbon. There's a 2.5 inch ribbon, green and like a light green and dark green stripe. It says ho ho ho. These are all from Craft Outlet, by the way. I'm not sure if they're going to have any left this late in the season. Then there's also a 1.5 inch polka dot, which will be nice to match his hat. And then there's a 1.5 inch striped, which also sort of matches his hat and his legs and his gloves. So these are what everybody got in the kit. If you didn't get the kit, I did post the links to where you can order all of these ribbons from Craft Outlet. So I typically do a 2 2.5 and 2 1.5 inch ribbons. So we're just going to start, just decide which two you want to match together. I'm going to do the elf ribbon with the polka dot. And like I said earlier in the video, I like to put ribbon all around the outside of my wreath. And then whatever room I have left on the inside. Like I said, a lot of the ties are going to be covered up by the sign and the elf, so you're not going to have to put ribbon in every tie on the inside. So, but I like the way it looks, framing the wreath going around the outside. So we're going to make a little ribbon bundle here, and then I always cut some extra pieces of the 1.5 inch. These are cut at 12 inches. I cut some extra pieces at 13. I usually take the 1.5 inch, but you can use the 2.5 inch, and I make a little bow tie. I just fold the ends over, and so they're overlapped. So when you pinch it in the middle here, they don't come undone. And you can put that right on top of your ribbon bundle, and that gives a nice little finishing touch. If you want to add bows, I'm not a big bow person. I don't know, and it isn't because I don't know how to make them. I don't know. I like my little ribbon bundles. I like my tails, and I don't typically add a bunch of bows to my wreaths. That's just a personal preference. Okay, so now we're going to take the ho 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 striped, and I think I'm just going to pair it with this, which is my other 1.5. You know, if you're putting a wreath together and you're a little bit unsure, you know, what ribbons to use, which ones to put together, which ones are gonna look right, which ones aren't, just cut a bunch of different kinds. You know, you don't have to choose your ribbons ahead of time. If you're not sure, pick out a few different 1.5 inch, pick out a few different 2.5 inch. And as you're putting them together on your wreath, that's when you're really going to be able to tell if it looks right or not. And then you can try out the different patterns and colors that you've cut. I'm going to have a little bit of a gap here because I cut that one extra tie off, but that's okay. if you end up not using a certain ribbon that you cut, you can just save it. Just save it for another project. But I do that a lot. If I can't make up my mind, if I can't decide which ribbon that I want to use in the wreath, I'll just cut, 4 or 5 different kinds and then try them out. If they don't look good, I save them and use them for something else. So these look good together. And we're just going to keep going all the way around, alternating my ribbon bundles. Keep going back over here. Let me move these over here on my desk. Now I'm probably not going to put one. Well, I think this will work. This one's gonna kind of go under his hat, but I'm not really going to be able to see it too much. But that's okay. I used to cut my ribbon tails longer. I used to cut them at 14 inches because that's what everybody else was doing. And you can do that if you want. You can cut them at 14. You can cut them at 13. I just decided that 14 and even 13 was just too long. It covered up too much of the wreath. And I like to be able to see my mesh, as I've said many times. So it really is just a matter of personal preference. I feel that every component of your wreath deserves equal airtime. So, equal airtime, stage time, whatever you want to put it. Everybody deserves their chance in the spotlight. This will work out. It's not really, it's kind of under his hat, but not really. And then this other tie is right here, so it'll be on the other side of his hat. Every time I move him, his little bells on his feet jingle. I like them all to kind of be going out. So instead of making them like an X, I sort of fan them all out toward the outside when I'm doing the outside ties. The inside, I'll spread them out a little bit more. So. Oh, my battery's running low. I gotta plug my battery in. Hold on 1 second here. Let me add this bow tie. One second, ladies. Find my plug here. Hold on 1 second, ladies. I'll be right back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pause it and finish going around the outside with the ribbon, and then we'll do the inside. I'll be right back. If I can pause it. Hold. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I finished putting all the ribbon around the outside. I even put some in between his legs here. Hold on, it seems like there's more of his legs showing over here than over here. Let me fix that. This mesh likes to stick to his legs too. I wasn't going to put any ribbon in between, but I did, so. I don't know why it looks like so much more showing here. Let me try to stuff that in a little bit more. Oh, now that one looks longer than that one. That's good. So you can see how all the ribbon kind of frames the outside of the wreath. I can't even get the whole wreath in the picture. It's kind of going all the way around. You can see that's how I like it. And then we're just going to put some more on the inside. If you want to add ornaments and stuff too, you can. Any other little embellishments that you want to add. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more ribbon on the top. And then we're going to call it a day. Just kind of framing. There's a bunch of mesh sticking out over here. I'm going to put some ribbon right here. You can see sometimes it's kind of hard to get your ribbon to lay right when the mesh is really poofy. You have to play with it a little bit. I'm going to stuff this little bit of mesh down under here because it's kind of sticking up a little bit too much over here for me. Kind of stuff that under there. There we go. So now I can see my ribbon a little bit better. There's a bunch of mesh there. This is a very poofy wreath. Very poofy indeed. Okay. If you have any extra pipe cleaner, you can either just clip it off or just kind of tuck it around the back. That'll work. That's a big poof right here. That's a big piece of mesh. But I do want to put some more ribbon over here, but not necessarily here. No, I have two. You know what? There's an extra tie here that I didn't put any mesh in. I'm just noticing that. Huh. Wow. I just realized that. We're going to have to tuck that around the back then because we're not going to need that. I don't know how I missed that tie. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Oh well. I missed a tie. Not the end of the world. Just kind of frame the sign a little bit. There's a big poofy piece of mesh here that's going to make my ribbon want to stick straight up, so you're going to have to kind of play with it a little bit. Just take your time. All right, let's get this tucked in here. Another bow tie. I don't know if I'm going to add any extra embellishments. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to go too crazy adding stuff because there's quite a bit of ribbon on here. I can't believe I missed that tie, but there's quite a bit of mesh on here, so I'm not really worried about it. There's enough coverage. And there's another tie here, so I guess I'll put a little bit more ribbon here. Let me get my bow tie to be straight here. And it doesn't really want to be. Hold on a second here. I don't really know why this one looks so odd to me. Hold on a second. Now I can't get it off. Here we go. I feel like this needs to go up a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these work wreath forms that much. Pipe cleaners kind of want to do their own thing. All right, I gotta go get my dinner in a minute here. And this one's just gonna give me a hard time because it knows I'm trying to finish. Stay. I don't know why this one doesn't want to stay. There. Now his hand is crooked. This big, huge piece of mesh here. This is the time-consuming part for me anyway, because I'm sort of OCD when it comes to how my ribbon is laying. I'll be right back, ladies. Whoop. Okay, you guys, I hope I didn't have that paused all that time. I tried to pause the recording and it looked like it was already paused, so I hope I didn't mess that up. All right. I don't think I want to put any ribbon up here because this is super poofy up here, unless maybe I just put some here in this tie. I'm going to tuck this tie around to the back. This is like super poofy here, and I don't think it's going to look good if I try to add ribbon right here. Up here I can. The middle tends to get a little bit poofier than the outside, and your ribbon doesn't want to lay right. So we'll put some right here. Especially with this method here, because you've got a huge piece of mesh. You've got a 35-inch piece of mesh here. So sometimes the ribbon doesn't want to lay right. But we're going to have to kind of tuck it in because I want to put a little bit here. Maybe I'll tuck this piece under his head because it's really poofy. There we go. That helps a little bit. That's a big poofy piece of mesh here. If it overlaps your sign a little bit, that's fine. It's totally fine. Let me look at this, see if I even want this ribbon here. This is like a gigantic piece of mesh here. I don't know why this piece is like so poofy. I'm going to tuck a little bit underneath here. It's just huge. There. I'm almost done a polka dot ribbon here that I cut, so I can always cut some more if I need to. Sorry for my head. I didn't even realize that my head is in the way until I look up at my laptop. And there's my big old head. I'm not sure if I like that ribbon bundle right there. Let me look at this. I need to hold this up. It's like right by his cheek. Well, I think that's okay. I may have to glue his gloves onto the sign so they don't get lost. Let's see. I guess I'll put one more over here. And then we'll be done. Kind of tuck it under his chin. I don't think I have any more of that striped ribbon. Yes, I do. Let me get one more piece here and I can cut it. Do a quick measure on my board here so I can do one more bow tie. And he's all ribboned up. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit any more ribbon on here. And I'm going to go have my dinner and I'm going to let Zoom process the video. And I'll get this all out to you guys tonight. This bill's a little bit too big. Let me fix that. Now, if you were sitting here in a live class, you'd be yawning and everybody'd be falling asleep. So the nice thing about getting the video is that you can stop and start it and walk away and get a drink, whatever you need to do. So that's the nice thing about the video as opposed to sitting in a live class. And that's it, ladies. He's all sufficiently ribboned. I'm not going to be able to fit any more ribbon on there, and I'm going to call it a day. Got some dust on his sign. The only thing I might do is just take a little bit of hot glue and put it under his glove here. So the glove is kind of sitting up more. It wants to like tuck down inside the mesh. Let me hold it up so you guys can see it. And there he is with his little jingle bell feet. All ready to go. All right, ladies, I'm going to go have my dinner. I'll let Zoom process this. I may play with this a little bit more, hang it on my wall and take a pic. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.